Greetings everybody, Redbeard here for another edition of Rasslin with Redbeard, the YouTube program where I, Redbeard, take you to a professional wrestling event somewhere in or around the Carolinas to give you a sense of what it's like to be a fan traveling the highways and byways in pursuit of this great passion that is professional wrestling. I found myself here once again in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the X-Gym Sports Mall, which is also home to the Myrtle Beach Sportatorium, for a evening of professional wrestling with C4W Explosive Wrestling. They're going to present a show they're calling Full Circle here this evening. I am here more out of convenience than anything else. I've been to a C4W show before. It's been a couple of years, but I, at that point in time, was on vacation with my family. And here again, I'm on vacation as well. Since they were having the show, I saw no reason not to come over here and check it out because it's a promotion that I haven't had a chance to visit with and to add to the collection of various promotions that we've covered here on the Wrestling with Redbeard series. On the card here this evening, I think they've only got one real announced match, and that's going to be the, I think they call themselves the Prophets of Anarchy. That's the group led by the GOAT, he calls himself that, Johnny Anthrax, and a gentleman who is known as Chaos, and the Renegade Bombshell Rio Ryson. A lot of interesting names in C4W, as you'll continue to see as we go forward here. They're going to be challenging Kevin Phoenix and a mystery tag team partner after having laid the leather to Kevin Phoenix here a couple of weeks ago. I saw a video of it. It looked like a pretty nasty spot where they did kind of a concerto type move onto Kevin Phoenix there. So we'll have to see what Kevin's got in store for those guys. But looking forward to seeing what they've got to add to the list of matches here potentially for us that we've been able to gather on the channel for YouTube. Not sure how many I'm going to be able to record. They do have, I think, some requests that people not record matches, but we're going to see how we do in there. At any rate, like I mentioned, this is the X-Gym Sports Mall and the Myrtle Beach Sportatorium, which, if you'll remember, was the subject of a segment here on the program a couple of weeks back, where we covered the first and only Championship Wrestling Live from Myrtle Beach program that was run from the same building. It's going to be apparently in a different spot within the X-Gym Sports Mall, where they've apparently, I think they've moved back to where they were originally, which is a bigger location than what they had when we were here for that particular show. This building has also had a little bit of notoriety here this year because it was supposed to have been one of the locations for Crucial Conflict Wrestling. I keep saying I'm not going to mention their name anymore, but they keep coming around kind of like a bad fart, and it just, when you think it's gone, poof, your nose flares up and there you are, yesterday's horseradish or whatever it was. But be that as it may, this was one of the venues that was supposed to have been host to CCW, and that didn't pan out either. I'm going to leave that where it is because the CCW stuff has been covered way more than it really should have been, and I don't know if the people involved with that have still got some irons in the fire in terms of other things that they're trying to do, but we'll just leave that where it is, as not wanting to promote them any further. Regardless, this is a little bit of a somber time in the world of professional wrestling. I'm coming to you a couple days after the announcement of the death of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. I can't say that I had the opportunity to see Dusty quite often in my life. I did get to see him at a match that was not too far from here. It was up the road in Conway, South Carolina. About 10 or so years ago now, he and Terry Funk were involved in a match at that particular event. It was a cage match. Crazy scenario there. Two legends in a cage, bleeding like stuck pigs. There were flaming branding irons, the whole 9 yards. The two guys are upwards in their careers, and they're still putting it all on the line for the fans. That, to me, is indicative of everything that Dusty Rhodes was about as a performer, as a member of this business. A tremendously respected man who will undoubtedly go down as a one-of-a-kind and as a legend, as he should. So just want to send out our condolences from everybody involved with Wrestling with Redbeard to the family of Dusty. I know he's got 2 sons, grandchildren, whole 9 yards there. This has got to be a very painful time for them. So we do wish them the best, and hope that you know that old Dusty, he might have gone out before anybody wanted him to, but everybody loved him. Everybody thought the world of him, and It's just one of those things where you hate to see someone go out when he was still so full of life. But when we're called, and when our time is up, our time is up. So he definitely lived a full life, and I'll leave that tribute there, because I'm sure there are going to be people who are a lot more eloquent than I am, putting much more meaningful statements out there in between the time when this is shot and when it will eventually be released onto the web. Moving on from there, in terms of other things that we've been experiencing in the world of professional wrestling here recently, you've got continued, I don't want to say tumult, but a lot of controversy over the casting of the Tough Enough program that's going to be coming up here in a few weeks. The 40 finalists that they had included a couple of people who had experience in the world of professional wrestling, mostly independent guys. You had one in the version, or excuse me, in the example of Adam O'Reiner, who's known as the Big O up in the New York wrestling scene, who had a lot of exposure because of the fact that he's associate of Zack Ryder and has been on the program that he has on his YouTube channel there a number of times. But he was one of the first ones that got cut, and he was kind of one of the people, I think, that people like myself thought was going to be a ringer for the show and could have been someone they just handed a contract to at the end of the program, but that's not going to be the case, obviously. Of the people that they've got left, I think I did the numbers the other day, and 8 of them were bodybuilders or models. Then you had a couple of people who were MMA fighters, a couple of football players, a professional cheerleader, and two people left in the running who had any actual professional wrestling experience. So that should give you a real hardcore idea of what they were going for in the casting of this program. People who had the look that they felt could be molded into a professional wrestler. Believe it or not, I kind of get why, because of the fact that a person that's going to mold themselves into a WWE superstar has to go through years of rigorous training in terms of getting to where they look like a, Adonis, more or less. That's what they go for. They want people with good bodies. I get that. They feel like if they've already got that, then the wrestling part they can work with. Well, sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. As you'll no doubt recall, the people who've been Tough Enough winners have not exactly panned out all that well. The history of that program just does not lend itself to any type of credentials in terms of saying, okay, well, this is a good idea in terms of continuing to grow our roster. But like I say, we'll see where it goes. I'm still probably going to watch the program because it's an interesting thing. I think it could be interesting from the standpoint of seeing some behind-the-scenes stuff at Developmental and the Performance Center down in Orlando. But let's see where it goes. I'm very middle of the road in terms of where that program's going to be. But it could turn out a superstar, it could turn out another flop like it did with the last season. I don't even remember the guy's name. But I remember he called himself Silent Rage, which was kind of silly to begin with. But regardless, we've got that going on there with Tough Enough. A lot of interest here within the past few days over a potential for WWE to get involved with the World Wrestling Network, WWN Live and whatnot. The people who are overseers of the Evolve brand and Shine and a few others. I think Full Impact Pro is one of their properties. The going idea is that this would be something of a relationship to kind of extend Developmental to include other independent talents that WWE sees as having potential down the road. It's very much in the air, apparently. A lot of talk, could go somewhere, but there's just as good of a chance that it's not going to go anywhere at all. So they're one of these things where you just have to see where it goes. Personally speaking, I would love for that to come to fruition, because you see what's happening in Developmental, you see what's happening in WWE NXT, and it's just something to where if they could continue that type of momentum with a expanded roster of guys who are out there in the world working in the United States, Europe, China, wherever else. WWN's got a pretty expansive reach at this point in time. They're run by Gabe Sapolsky, used to be booker for Ring of Honor here a number of years ago. Really booked them into prominence, as a matter of fact. It would be a fantastic thing. Whether or not it happens, who knows at this point in time, but it would be amazing from the standpoint that you would have the thought going back that Vince McMahon killed the territory system that was a feeder for so many promotions. back in the 70s and 80s. And then you have his son-in-law, Triple H, who's likely the man behind this particular idea, who's running NXT, running developmental, involved with developing so many talents, who's now kind of created something, or could be creating something that resembles somewhat of a territory system. Again, they've always had relationships with like OVW and other promotions, Deep South and whatnot, but this would be even more of a reach into the top level indie talents and indie promotions, to kind of use them as a feeder system, as a farm system for NXT, developmental, the main rosters, whatever you could see. And there could be a lot of potential for crossovers there as well. That's the interesting thing going forward, that I'd be really keen on finding out what they're going to do, if they even wind up doing this. Like I mentioned, it's up in the air. This is one of those things that gets talked about. It could just as well fall flat here in the next few days, but be that as it may, those are the big stories that are going on around right now. This is being recorded on June 13th, 2015. I don't want to get too far into what's coming, just because of the fact that I'm on vacation right now, and it's probably going to be the better part of a week at least before this gets edited and uploaded and whatnot. So I'm not going to talk too much about upcoming events. I don't know when this will be shown, but you've got some things going on locally in terms of WrestleForce having announced some things for their July 3rd show. PWX has announced that the Young Bucks will be coming back for their event in July. The big thing going on here this weekend, other than this show, is that Ultra Wrestle will be having their event over in Calhoun Falls. I'm interested to see how that card pans out. It's just, it continues to be a very active time in the world of professional wrestling, in particularly in this part of the world. You've got a lot of promotions going on, a lot of talent that are on the rise, seemingly, and just a good time to be a fan who can get out and go to these shows. And that's what we continue to hope to do with this program and with this series, and with what we do with the midweek update and sharing information on the Facebook page and through Twitter. We want to tell people that this stuff is out here, and all you have to do is come find it. It's to a point to where if you wanted to go to a show every weekend in the Carolinas, you really could, and you might not always see a top-notch A+ show, but you would still probably be entertained. And that's the big thing, is you don't want to go home feeling like you're having wasted money, or you're wasted your time or whatnot. And that does happen, don't get me wrong. But point being, if you can find a gem somewhere in that rough, hopefully you can. If not, oh well. Hopefully the snack bar had some good nachos. That's the way I look at it. But be that as it may, we're going to wrap this part of the program up here. I'm going to be heading in again. This is C4W Explosive Wrestling, presenting Full Circle from the Myrtle Beach Sportatorium here at the X-Gym Sports Mall in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Man, that was a mouthful. So we're going to head on inside now and see what they've got to offer us. We'll see you in a few. How you doing? Assume I'm going where I'm supposed to be going.
And at this time, I want to bring out the prophets of anarchy and see what they have to say for themselves.
First, there was the collapse of civilization. Anarchy, genocide, starvation.
How about one more time?
microphone. Talking to your microphone. Does your microphone care? Talk to it. Go ahead.
Why don't you just come out here right now?
Oh, you want me to come out there right now?
Just come on, just get over with you. We know you have no partner. Everyone is not afraid to stand next to you. We're gonna beat you. We're gonna send you back up to that redneck hell that you come hiding from every time.
Microphone's breaking. I'm sorry. Say that again. What? I can let my man right here just berate you all night with no one cares, because truly, no one cares. But I am gonna do what I said I was gonna do. I'm gonna go back there, I'm gonna find a partner, and I am going to do what I do best, and that is lay some Southern smackdown on both of you guys. I'm sorry, you punks. I got jokes. Anthrax, you don't know one day if you're a POA, you don't know one day if you're a POS. Make up your mind, because quite frankly, all I've heard from Chaos is telling me to go back in AIWF with the old dudes. Quite frankly, both of you guys need to realize that I am the man in the AIWF. I am the one traveling to West Virginia, New York City, South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. I am. And Anthrax, all you are is a dude with the C4W blood. You ain't beat me one-on-one. Never have, never will.
Come on, coach. Boy is eliminated.
And now you see I'm gone completely out of my mind. They're coming to take me away, they're coming to take me away, to the funny part where life is beautiful.
Looks like the winner is Patient.
Yeah, that's family show. Referee just realized he had something to do. Oh man. Go ahead and get on the mat, ref. There you go. Come on, there you go. There you go.
Count. You can't get
Oh man. Oh.
Ref's on the ropes. Get off the ropes, ref.
Rope break. He never had time in. He has until 5. Please.
It's got to be sweating.
Oh no.
Hit him.
Four times.
Yes. Ref's got to be near the ropes so he can get up off the mat.
That's right. Hit him. Don't let him get you. Another one.
Yeah!
Nice.
Where's the roll out? Oh no. You're gonna have to talk about it.
Oh, that's very dangerous. Very dangerous. Oh.
Got it.
This is even worse. A lot of sharp edges over there. Oh. All right, we're about halfway through the show. It looks like I'm sweating. It's because I am. This is another building that has no air conditioning. To make matters worse, I am downwind of the smoking section, apparently. There's a door leading to the outside that people are going out to enjoy smoke, and it's blowing directly into the building here, and it's about all you can smell is smoke. So if you want to smoke, that's fine, but it'd be just as well if it wasn't being blown back in here. The show overall has been just this side of terrible. They've got a referee that is vastly immobile, and the competition here so far has involved mostly guys in masks that I think are probably going to be reused later on in the second half of the show. So we'll have to see how it goes here, but as of right now, this is pretty near the bottom of the barrel in terms of shows I've been to. So we'll have to see how it goes here in the second half. Start the main event coming up, and probably 2 more matches as well. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to enjoy the sauna type atmosphere and see what happens. So here we go, the second half of the show. Nope, the aliens are coming. What was that? Please tap. Thank you. Riffle's ready for that one. That literally would have been a 6 count. There was some cheating involved there.
Go ahead! Look at it! Nobody cares! He lies! Nobody cares about what you say!
prophets of anarchy.
Check. 3, 2, 1. Three, two, one. All right, folks, there you have it. Our coverage of C4W Explosive Wrestling as they presented the Full Circle program, as they were calling it. I'm going to go ahead and be completely honest and say that this was a most unenjoyable experience here this evening. 2 reasons in particular. One, the fact that this building is apparently without any real dramatic source of air conditioning. And 2, for the fact that there was an open door towards the back of the venue where people were standing around smoking constantly, and the vapors from that were blowing directly into the venue, and the entire time I smelled nothing but secondhand smoke. I'm not a smoker myself. If you are, perfectly fine. Go ahead. We're all going to die something. You've chosen yours apparently, but even so, it just made it very unenjoyable, the smell of secondhand smoke the entire time. On top of that, the action here was not very good. I hate to say that, but it just was not very good. I've been around wrestling and the independent scene here in the Carolinas for better than a decade. I've been watching wrestling for the better part of 25 years. I think I've seen enough to know good wrestling from bad wrestling, and this was pretty far down the totem pole. I'd like to think that I've been to some pretty high peaks in terms of the shows that I've been to, and been to some pretty low valleys, and this is pretty far down the valley, to be honest with you. Yeah, it is what it is. But at the same time, I took a photo of a young man who actually, he started tugging my shirt and was asking me to take a picture of him towards the end of the show. He had a sign that said, "You still sucka," because there's a wrestler involved in this particular promotion. They call Koji the White Ninja. They promote him as being from Yusaka, Japan. But he had a sign and he wanted me to take his picture, and he was having a ball. So take that for what you will. He was having a great time. And that's ultimately what this is about in a lot of cases. Kids having a good time, enjoying themselves. So take it for what you will. Irregardless of that, I'm going to wrap up our coverage of this particular promotion, this particular show. It may be back at some point in time, but I just don't know at this point. It's the C4W is what I'm saying. Nevertheless, appreciate you guys joining me on the program here. I'm a little wiped out right now. I've been up since 6:30 and I've been sweating for pretty much 12 hours here now because of the fact that I mentioned earlier we're in Myrtle Beach and it's one of the hotter periods of the year that we've had so far. So I'm a little wiped out, but apologize if I start rambling here. I'm just dehydrated and probably on the verge of heat stroke. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for joining us on the program. If you enjoy what you see on Rasslin with Redbeard and have taken the time to look at some of our other programming in terms of the midweek update and also the matches we have, we'd appreciate it if you'd like these videos and also give us a subscription. We appreciate that because it lets us know that we're doing the right thing here and that we're reaching out to people and that we're actually making a bit of an impact. So we appreciate you guys who have subscribed and liked these videos and commented as well. Never hurts to share these on Twitter and Facebook. Speaking of which, we are on social media. Links to those particular sites will be included in the description of this video, so check those out as well, please. That's it. I'm going to go home and take a shower and hopefully pass out. We'll see you down the road.